Let's do it.
And this is Big Baby Ben with Wrestling with Bros.
Your co-host Billy Kid,
Troy Black, baby.
and we got a very, very special guest tonight on our screen here. AMB Austin Michael Baldridge. Why don't you introduce yourself here, man?
My name is Austin Michael Baldridge, AMB. I'm currently just trying to make my rounds and make the towns out here in the Midwest in the pro wrestling scene. Currently in my first year, and I'm honored to be a part of the podcast. Thank you guys very much.
Well, we're very, very glad to have you on.
Very glad.
It's
Does he
always
kind of
Very
awesome to
glad.
be a part
does
of
he kind of
this.
give like a Johnny Gargano like type of vibe?
Yeah, Johnny Gargano kind of vibe. There you go.
Sweet. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll take that. I'll take that. I'm a big
yeah,
fan of Johnny, so
that's awesome.
yeah.
So,
All right,
why
big
don't you
baby.
tell us a little bit about your start in the wrestling business and kind of the journey that it's been?
So I was a senior in high school. Just kind of, high school takes a toll on everybody. You kind of experiment with a lot of things. I was kind of floundering, didn't really know what I wanted to do. And just wrestling always kind of came back to me. So, I just started watching some matches from New Japan Pro Wrestling. Like me as a kid, I grew up watching WWE, WWE guy, Me and my oldest brothers, we used to watch it all the time religiously. So, uh,
Yep.
I watched, believe it or not, Will Ospreay and Ricochet, Best of the Super Juniors in 2016. So just like it caught fire with everybody else in the wrestling world, it caught my attention. And I had never seen wrestling like that. So I just kind of dove deep into watching everything else other than WWE and realized that it was a fascinating world and I wanted to be a part of it and I didn't really know how. And I think that's a lot of people's problem in the beginning is they don't know who to reach out to. And I'm a
Okay.
Midwest kid, so originally wanted to reach out to Black and Brave, but I wasn't really kind of like confident in myself at the time, and just financial things weren't stacking right on my end. So I just reached out to a school out in Chicago and started training out there at Premier Pro Wrestling out in Woodstock.
Okay.
I was there for a couple months and then got into a car accident. So it's
Ooh.
been a journey. So even though this is my first year, I've been trying to go at it since 2019. So,
Hell
Okay.
I've
yeah.
been trying.
Oh yeah.
That's what you gotta do, man. That's what you gotta do. And
Yes,
man,
Um.
dude, you're making it look good, bro. You're making it look
Yeah.
I
good.
appreciate that. I appreciate that. Yeah, so I got into a car accident and then just life. I had to figure some things out and a couple years went by and I just started back up and was trained by a couple people. I'm still training as I go and learning as I go, just as everybody else is, but I think like I'm kind of in a unique position because I'm learning from all these people and getting the information and like even though it's not clicking sometimes in the beginning, it's going to come full circle and I've had a lot of those moments already just in my first few months. So, I'm still learning, still getting my training underneath my belt. So
So
just trying to make my rounds, man, and just be as consistent as possible. Get those
so
reps.
so are you training locally in your town? Or are you training back in Chicago? Like,
So there was a company that was around my hometown. I started out training back there after my car accident and had some of my first matches there. And now they kind of rebranded and they're trying to just revamping things up. So I'm still with them, but they're building right now. But really, dude, I just made some good connections and got around some genuine people who really want to see me succeed in this thing more than I do sometimes. Like they see the potential in me a lot of times more than I do, and they just kept pushing me towards opportunities. And it's
okay.
like when those opportunities keep knocking, it's like kind of asinine to just deny those. You got to take them while they come because they're not going to come forever. So I just
Hmm.
started working with Galley Lucha Libre a lot up in Chicago, and they're very kind to me, and just getting some matches in at Galley, just learning Lucha Libre, it makes you learn quick. That's a whole nother style. So I've just been learning as much as I can, soaking things in as a sponge and just each show, each match, trying to take something from it and
Hell
grow
yeah.
from it. So
Well, I mean, you make it look like you're a pro out there, man. When you that first match I
appreciate
went to where you threw yourself over the top rope and you guys went through those chairs and stuff, that was just
yeah.
awesome. Like, Me and my kids were right in the front row. We had to dive to the right, down a little way. So it was awesome.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. It's an honor, man. Like, I'm one of those people that kind of has a hard time taking compliments at times, and I get a lot of them lately, especially over the last like month. I've been doing some pretty positive things in other people's eyes, and it's showing that, I want it and they're seeing it. So it's cool to get compliments like that, man. It means a lot more than you'll think. So I
For
appreciate that.
sure. Compliments help people a lot. That's for sure.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so how often would you say that a wrestler needs to train like before they're getting ready for a big match?
That's kind of a tricky question just from like my experience. I've seen a lot of people, come in and it may only take them a couple months. But this isn't for everybody. You know what I mean? And if it was, I think everybody would be having fun with this, but it's
Yeah.
not for everybody. And you gotta have goals for yourself. That's like the biggest thing. And if you kind of just approach this and like, oh, I kind of want to have fun, it is fun, but credibility is everything, and you don't want to disrespect the sport of professional wrestling or your peers. So it kind of depends on how bad you really want it and how much effort you're willing to put in. Uh, there's been a lot of guys that I kind of helped a little bit, even when I felt I shouldn't be helping them. And I helped them in ways that I didn't even know that I was helping them. But, some of those guys who didn't end up making it, they're great people, but it's okay. There's
Just
plenty
wasn't
of
meant for
people that
them.
take, yeah, and there's plenty of people that take different routes. I've seen a lot of people start as refs and then learn and get the mind, like the mental aspect of it down before they started to actually wrestle. So, and you got to have a why, because it's physical. Like you're getting in car crashes every time you're out there, at least 6 times a night. So
Oh yeah.
it's it's not for everybody. So it's just kind of depends on how bad they want it and what goals they kind of are seeking for themselves.
Okay.
So I just gotta ask this question. I'm pretty sure we didn't discuss this one, but I gotta ask it. So I know how it was for me on my very first match ever, like ever
Yeah.
actually in front of people. How did it feel for you in your very first match in front of it?
Oh, dude. So like I kind of had little feelers before. They wanted to like tease me, getting like tease my debuts, and I would get messed up every time, someone would cut the legs from underneath me. So like that, I can tell you the first time I went out there, I just felt like I was frozen. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
know what to do, and I felt like I was taking forever on everything. And then looking back at it, I rushed through everything. So it's just important to take your time. I still kind of struggle with that, like especially right before my match, like I'm about to hit that curtain. I do my little pre-match thing and hype myself up, and it's just like you freeze for a second. But I just
Yeah.
soak it in at this point. I embrace it at this point. Kind of
Awesome.
like being uncomfortable sometimes, and especially like in that setting, it's a productive way of feeling uncomfortable.
Like
So
I don't know how you feel when you do your matches, but I felt like, me and obviously my opponent had trained like for like a month before this.
yeah.
Um, but it felt like, man, as soon as I like stepped out behind that curtain and got in the ring and the bell rang, I almost felt like everything that we talked about and we trained just on like was gone. Like it was like a blank slate almost. Like,
Yeah, that tends to happen.
okay,
I
good.
just struggled with that. I
Mhm.
just struggled with that. Uh, I got out there and I'm like, holy crap, these nerves have hit me. And I'm like, my
Mhm.
buddy's someone's telling me, no, you got this, kid, you'll be all right. And then I get out there and it's like, we started going through the motions and I was like, oh, okay,
Yep,
okay,
yep.
no, now I'm at ease. That's how I knew I was getting a little bit more comfortable,
Mhm.
just going through situations like that. And that's by working with Galley Lucha Libre, doing the lucha
Mhm.
stuff. A lot of
Mhm.
those guys, they speak English, but it's like they have their own slang. So like I'm learning very quick, and I think I credit Lucha Libre to my progression so far, just because it's a whole nother ball game.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I
Yeah,
just
Yeah.
I just had to ask that because I'm like, that's how I felt when I had my very first match ever. Like it was
yeah.
nerve
I
wracking.
can't really I can't really speak for everybody. but yeah, no, I mean, I still kind of struggle with that, and I'm only in my first year still, so I think it's just something everybody kind of goes through. I think it's kind of normal in that sense, but it's a good time, dude. There's nothing like this business, man. Like it's completely changed my outlook on life and wrestling and just people, you know. So it's been very good so far. I'm having a blast.
I feel like being a wrestler and actually getting like noticed as a wrestler and performing in front of people, it kind of motivates you to try kind of be kind of like a role model. Like even if you don't know these people, you know, it just changes your look on a lot of things, how you carry yourself, I feel like as a wrestler, in and outside of the
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. It definitely does. HAW has been so kind to like me and my family. My family are big supporters.
ring.
And my oldest nephew has cancer. And like in the beginning, that was like one of those things, like obviously you start something and you have these drives and these passions to do something for your own reasons. But like, yeah, he kind of fell out of wrestling for a little bit. And I just kind of wanted to do something, you know? And it's reeled my whole family in. I mean, my grandma's coming to shows, you know, so it's pretty
Nice.
crazy. Uh, and just it's cool just to hear it from family, but to actually have like a fan experience from someone you've never met, it's kind of mind-boggling at times, you know. I'm a local kid and I do a lot of stuff, try to help out here around the area, so I
When
haven't
you say
been
you're
noticed
local,
like
where are
in the
you? You say you're local. Where are you from?
so I'm from Ottawa, Illinois.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
most people usually compare or like recognize that town just because Maria Kanellis is from Ottawa as well.
Yep.
So like whenever I'm out and about and someone's asking me about wrestling, they're like, "Have you met her yet?" You know, and it's like, "No, no, I've met them, but not in a wrestling setting, you know." But
Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty crazy, you know. There's a lot of little kids around in the area that I've never would have had a chance to like interact with, and I've done that through wrestling, and I've gotten to know some of these kids and these little girls, you know, and they're good kids. They're going to be good people when they grow up. So it's an awesome experience, you know.
For sure.
I had a question for you, A and B. What is
Yeah.
the most expensive part of doing this?
Oh, I mean, with the way the economy is, honestly, like gas, there's some of these shows that you want to get on for many reasons, you know, just to share locker rooms with people or to get some sort of like outlet and exposure or just to go somewhere new. Um, but yeah, you know, like that can take a toll sometimes. Gear, you know, there's unfortunately for us as wrestlers, there's not a lot of people really out here making gear, you know. So it's hard, or you're usually like kind of like waiting. So like that can be kind of expensive. But honestly, I wouldn't say really too much of it. Like, you know, obviously taking care of yourself and everything like that. Like I've been looking into like doing things more because I haven't really, I'll be honest, I should do more with my body, just to take care of it. So I've been trying to just figure out things, you know, like looking into like ice baths, those can be pretty pricey. So like if there's things that you want to do personally for yourself, and you want things structured a certain way, it can be a bit of a challenge, but you know, I don't really look at things as far as wrestling or even really in life about like the dollar amount, you know, like I just want to do something, you know, to impact someone, whether it be a my cousin, family member, a nephew, or even just some random kid, you know. That's the benefit that I reap from everything. That's what I look forward to the most. And it's cool, you know, just to have those life experiences to be able to say that wrestling's provided you some cool experiences, you know, like so I look forward to the future in this business, you know, just to be able to do that more than um kind of like figure out how this business is and stuff like that. I just kind of just look forward to looking at every match as a new opportunity to learn, and it's every crowd's a new set of eyes. So you get that chance to make your impact and your moment on someone every time, you know? So those opportunities like that is what I look forward to the most. I haven't
Okay.
really had too much of a struggle with like financial stuff really. Um, like as far as wrestling wise, other than gas, it can be tough sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I have a good
So
that's another good thing, you know, you got people that support you and I got my family, you know, and they look out for me in times when, you know, I can't make a show. And if they're available, they get me to the show because they enjoy it as well. So I think it's cool. Like my mom never really liked wrestling and now I got my whole family coming to wrestling. So
Oh yeah.
that's awesome.
Oh
it's
yeah.
cool to see how quick that can change, you know.
Oh yeah.
Like I
Especially when
remember
it's for you.
yeah, and like it's cool too, just see how they interact with the other wrestlers. And the other
Mhm.
wrestlers are awesome, you know, like they embrace my family a lot. HAW, Honor Among Wrestling, like they love my family, you know, and it's awesome to know that like they look out for the wrestlers and the wrestlers' family to make sure everyone's being taken care of. So the camaraderie stuff oversees everything, you know. Try not to really focus too much on the negatives like the financial burdens and um, you know, getting caught up in the what ifs and the fears of everything. I'm just, hey, taking each opportunity as they come. So,
Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah. I don't blame
yep.
you. I don't blame you. Keep doing what you're doing.
How does a wrestler go about it when you're all about you're like, I want to wrestle, I want to do this, this is my thing. But how does a wrestler go about choosing their gimmick?
Yeah, I had a struggle with that. The people that were helping me out with my earlier days in training and getting started in the ring, they had like they wrote down like maybe three or four names and they were just kind of like names that are kind of like rehash names or something that like you can tell, like, no offense to them, but like these ain't what's gonna work in modern day wrestling. And I
Yeah.
think people kind of gravitate more to guys who are themselves. And I'm comfortable with myself as a human being. So I figured, you know, let me take some time and let me try to come up with something. And I'm a big fan of MJF and
Oh
the
yeah.
whole asterisk thing. You like Dr. Britt
Yep.
Baker and all. I like those little things. So I was just watching a bunch of their stuff, and I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna be myself, uh, you know, as best as I can because that's what everyone's always kind of told. That's what works is just be yourself, turn it up a notch. So
Yeah.
I'm a passionate person, and I'm a very emotional person sometimes. So I figured if I can just channel that stuff and carry it over into a show and they can feel my energy because I would very much rather get the crowd to feel something rather than be like, oh, hey, that was a cool move. You know, I do cool stuff, but I want them to feel something. And I had a match with Nasty Nick Nolan, you know. We had this rivalry going and like still like I'm the reactions we got from that storyline and you know the way we got emotion out of people is it clicked right away like this is what we're supposed to be doing so I'm trying to learn how to be smarter as a wrestler and psychology wise to get to that you know.
So in your wrestling career, 'cause you're currently wrestling with HAW right now, correctly?
Yeah, yeah.
So your next match is this next
uh
upcoming show?
yeah, coming up on September 30th against Conan Lycan, so
Okay.
Conan, like,
that'd
Big
be
match.
yeah, yeah, it's gonna
are
be
you ready for that?
as I'm getting ready, you know, as best as I as best as I can. I got a lot of respect for him, man. You know, he looks out for me and he's helped me a lot. And I think it's gonna be one hell of a match, you know. I've been ready to wrestle someone, you know, confident enough to say that I'm ready to wrestle someone of that caliber,
Okay.
you
Have
know.
you ever wrestled him before?
No, no. So it'd be interesting. I think it'd be a
Okay.
good match. And yeah, I like that underdog feel, you know, like I'm kind
For
of used
sure.
to it. I'm used to it, but yeah, no, just going against someone like that and just the ideas that I have, you know, just seeing how this can play out is going to be cool. So I'm really looking forward to it. Win, lose, or draw, you know, I'm going to give him my best effort. I'm not going to just treat it like any other show. Like I'm really going to try to do my best to like make a statement and show to the fans and to earn his respect even more than what I have if I have not already, you know. So I got a little bit of a chip on my shoulder, and I know I'm gonna be the underdog, so I gotta bring it, I have to.
Oh.
It's definitely a David versus Goliath situation.
Well, I wanted to ask you that question because like, I get asked a lot doing like wrestling. People always ask like, "Hey, well, is it all fake? Like, do you guys like know what moves you guys gonna hit?" And I always try to explain to them. Sometimes, yeah, but most of the time, no, you don't. And this just goes to prove to everybody that watches and everybody that hears this. Obviously, you heard it from the man himself. He's never wrestled this man before. He's gonna wrestle this man this month. So that goes to show having in-ring chemistry, it is important, but it's
Very
not
important.
always, there. But you can always develop chemistry in the ring, spot on.
Yep.
So
And
we
I
will
think
be
by
very
the
excited
I
to see
think
that.
by the outcome of that match, whether I win or lose, I think he's gonna respect the effort that I give, just because I care about this. I'm really looking forward to this match. It's a good opportunity, not only for myself to just show honor among wrestling that, they took a chance on me when they didn't know who the hell I was. So, and I take good pride in that. So, and I've had some good matches there so in my time there, but I want to show them like, hey, I can be a long-term guy, you know?
Nice.
Absolutely, absolutely. Get yourself locked in.
Yeah, for
Oh
sure.
yeah.
For sure.
And how does locker room morale in the back affect a superstar?
Ooh.
Um, I think it can kind of like mess with some people. But once people are so locked in and they know what they're doing and like they have that chip on their shoulder and they know, okay, like this is a hot crowd, like we really got something here. You can see the change in atmosphere sometimes. Like people really get hyped up and they get zoned in. You just look around, everyone's doing push-ups, or they're just in their zone. So, but I've never really had like a low locker room morale, honestly, I would say, in my opinion. Um, Everyone usually enjoys their time around each other, you know? Everyone's been super respectful and cordial, and I think that's like one of the things that's misunderstood about the wrestling business. With things like coming out like Dark Side of the Ring and all this stuff. It's very intriguing, don't get me wrong. I watch the stuff too. But it's not as like outlaw landish as it seems or as you hear. Like I've been treated with nothing but respect from everybody I've come across. I cannot be more grateful for that. Like you hear these stories and it's like, oh, masculinity and all this stuff, like egos, but no, man, I've been in some great locker rooms in my time. Honor Among Wrestling is one of them. Like one of the coolest locker rooms, good people all around. Never met a bad person in their locker room. Galley Lucha Libre, I love going there. Midwest Championship Wrestling. Even though they're new, they've had some fun people in the locker room, and it's always been a good time. Everyone's enjoyed their time. So
You said Midwest Champion Wrestling?
yeah, it's here in Illinois, in like my hometown area in LaSalle County. They just recently been running a couple shows, helping them out a little bit on their end, just like social media wise, helping them make flyers and stuff because I like to do that type of stuff outside of wrestling.
Mhm.
So, but yeah, they're a good place. They've done a couple shows, about three shows, and the last one they had at Skydive, I was in a 2 out of 3 falls match, what was supposed to be until my opponent got hurt, and then I had to do an impromptu match off the fly. But it's a good place. Janesville Wrestling Alliance in Wisconsin, another good place. I really enjoyed my time there. They do a lot of storytelling up there, a lot of like storylines going on, and good people. Like when I first got there, they were pretty quiet at first, but like once you get around these people, you sometimes forget that they're human too. So the locker room morale is high everywhere I've been. So
Okay.
So I do have to put this in, and I told both brothers mine. I told them I'm going to ask them this. What is your opinion on the tribal chief Roman Reigns?
oh, I love him, man. He's earned everything. Everything that he claims that he is, he's earned it. And he's
Yeah.
still striving for more. So it'll be intriguing to see how this whole thing kind of culminates. But Yeah, no, Roman Reigns. When I was in high school, I wasn't really kind of a fan of him, you know. And then 2016 Royal Rumble, that's what did it for me. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, this dude's really good. But yeah, and then he had that leukemia, like little issue, and I don't know. It just seems like since he came back, like nothing's gonna
Yeah,
stop this guy.
Yeah, he
So,
since he came back, this whole tribal chief storyline, the bloodline, it has been one of the most amazing storylines that WWE's had in a long time.
a
And
long, long time.
Yeah,
it's
Yeah,
definitely gonna be
like
one
a
of the
10-year window, I would say, honestly.
yeah. It's
So
it's been a long time. I haven't been like this intrigued in a WWE storyline in so long since the whole Daniel Bryan stuff.
Yep.
So
yeah.
yeah, it's cool. I really enjoy Roman Reigns right now. He's earned everything, you
that
know.
kind of
You can't.
opens one of my surprise questions of the night. Recently, there was an interview with Dave Batista, and he stated that he now has an open schedule due to the writer's block. And
Yeah.
The Rock has recently came back. And who do you think is going to take AJ Styles' spot? I think it might be Randy.
Yeah. If I had to take a guess, I would say it'd be Randy. That'd be awesome. I think AJ deserves a match, you know, like that, and I think it would be a good opponent for Randy. You know, that's who. Just I would say. I agree with you on that. I'm a big fan of Randy Orton, so I would. Hmm. Yeah, I'm not really sure to be honest.
Because John's partner is down right now against the bloodline. He
Oh
needs
yeah,
some
that's right.
backup.
That's right.
So
That's right.
is Randy going to save the day? Is The Rock going to save the day? A lot of people say it's going to be LA Knight.
Oh,
Hmm.
that's intriguing as well, though.
Hmm.
Yeah.
You got to say that's pretty intriguing.
I didn't think of that.
He needs something though. LA Knight needs something.
He
Yes, he
You
does.
know,
does.
He
He
needs a
he
push.
does. They're
does.
wasting his talent.
Yeah.
I mean, they already got rid of Dolph Ziggler and
So
Oh,
Karrion Kross.
I was shocked when I heard that.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah,
what
shocked.
absolutely.
say is when you have to choose whether you want to be a heel or a baby face, what would you say is your favorite thing to do?
I haven't been a heel yet. I think it would be intriguing, you know, very interesting. I think I could play a solid heel, but currently right now I'm enjoying being a babyface. Um, I kind of think I understand knowing my role on the show and being a babyface a little bit better than I would as a heel, just because there's a lot of heels right now on the indies.
Yep.
Um, but I think I enjoy being a babyface, so I think being a babyface is something I could be okay with, you know, doing this for quite a bit of time. And I've always liked baby faces when I think about it, you know, looking back, I've always enjoyed them. So I think baby face.
Okay.
And as
Okay.
we hit
That's
the
it.
10-minute buzzer, Billy the Kid, Troy Black, do you have any questions you would like to ask AMB?
Um, what kind of when you're creating your character, does your mindset have to be kind of in a certain place, or is it just kind of on the fly?
I actually kind of came up with mine off the fly. It was really late at night and was just going over some ideas. Um, but I think it's better if you kind of take your time and put some thought into it. Like when I came up with the whole A and B stuff, that was really the whole thing. That was like kind of like all I thought of. I didn't really at that point I didn't understand how to get over with the crowd. Um, didn't know how to interact with them. You know, I was still new, still trying to get comfortable and being in front of people and just talking in front of people. But I think it's best to have some sort of area within your gimmick to be able to have an open window to where you can be comical, you can be serious, because it doesn't have to be serious the whole time. And I think there are certain crowds uh to where they're not really focused on one aspect of a wrestling show. So if you're diverse, I think it's good to have a diverse character to where you can kind of be shaded on both sides and kind of test the waters at first, rather than just being like, oh, I'm gonna be a heel, and then you go out there and you know, you're kind of struggling with it, and then now you got to revamp something, and it's just kind of you don't. No one wants to waste their time, so you don't want to have to go through that creative process because then it could stifle you, and then really give you that love-hate relationship. So I think it's I think being a baby face is a little more easier just for me because of my size and my style and stuff like that. But yeah, definitely having that little open area with creating a character or something that they can identify you with, to where you can try to find what's going to work. And being able to do comedy in wrestling isn't easy, but that's the good thing about wrestling too. It doesn't have to be serious the whole time. And it's always good to have a character on your shows because that's what people want to see. They want to see something larger than life. They want to feel like they've earned what they paid their money for, and
Yep.
characters usually work best. So I'm still struggling with that. I'm still trying to figure out my character as a whole, but I know for a fact, you know, I'm the underdog at this point. So I'm rolling with that.
For sure.
So
Well,
we move. Go ahead, Troy.
how much do you weigh, AMB?
I bounce anywhere between 145 and 150.
And how tall are you?
So I am 5'9", 5'10".
And you would say that you're more of a high flyer type.
For sure.
Okay.
Especially learning the lucha. Um, there's like certain little things that I like with lucha that I tend to do that I've kind of noticed. So yeah, I mean, I'm kind of flying around there a lot. So
I'm just kind of getting a feel for and saying, man, like I admire, I admire your ability because, like I said, I didn't see you wrestle, like actually compete at the last show, but I did see
yeah,
dig, caught on some of your highlights and everything else like that. Um, I just want to know, man, like, in a couple months here, I'm gonna be, doing my training and everything else. I just want to know if I get to that point, could I have a match against you?
absolutely, man. We could definitely make that happen. We could
Okay.
do it anywhere, you know,
Okay.
name the time and the place. Just make sure, you know, you just let me know.
All
I'll
right. I'll
make it
be in
Sure.
happen.
contact. I'll definitely be in
I'll make
contact.
it happen.
Sure.
I'll definitely be in contact.
Yeah, I could definitely make that happen.
All right.
So
I'd like to see that Troy Black versus AMB.
Nice.
yeah,
Yeah.
there you go. We can open the show. Start the
That
show. Let's get the
that'll
crowd
be a
warmed up. It's my
that's
best.
a hot
To
start.
me, in my opinion, most people are like kind of like, ah, man, starting the show is a little nerve-wracking and stuff. But I like it
That's how
because
I started. That was my very first, the very first time I ever, was ever in a show. I had to start off the show with
yeah,
playing
I
against.
enjoy doing opening match. I
It
enjoy it.
was it was nerve wracking, but it was still fun. I had plenty of fun.
Yeah,
Plenty.
it's always fun. But yeah, no, I we can make that happen.
Okay.
Just let me know when you're done with your training.
All
Send some
right.
footage over, and I'll send it to a couple people. And I would love to share the ring with you. You know that I'm
All right.
always looking forward to wrestling anyone and everyone. You know, as long as it makes sense, and as long as you know we're both going to be safe about it, which I
Of course.
trust a lot of people.
Of
And
course.
I haven't came across no one that's really like scared me in the ring. So
Okay.
I've had a couple of bang ups, but you know it's a part of the business. You know,
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
one of them
but
things. So, bro,
yeah, I
I'll be
enjoy
in
working new
contact.
people.
We
I
will
enjoy
definitely be in
working new
contact.
people, so
Big
we
baby.
can make that happen.
Can't wait to see that when that goes down. My top analyst, Troy Black, AMB. That sounds interesting.
Yeah.
Um,
Amen.
AMB, it's been amazing to have you on the podcast. You have been such a
Absolutely.
wonderful guest, so much hype, so much energy, so much positivity. I honestly wish you the best. I hope you make it to the very top of the mountain and keep climbing, brother.
I appreciate that. That's a lot of love right there. Some kind words, good generosity from you guys. You guys have been very polite, very pleasant, and I appreciate you guys bringing me on. I'm looking forward to coming back on if you guys ever want to have me
Yeah,
back
we
on.
definitely were looking
We
forward
would
to having you back for sure.
we would definitely.
Yeah, yeah, we'll have to definitely keep in contact, Troy. We can make that happen.
All right, we
It's
will.
been a
Yeah.
it's been a pleasure, man. You guys asked some pretty good questions. You guys kind of I feel like I've had a good opportunity here to talk with you guys. It's been an honor to meet you guys as well. And you guys do a cool podcast. I watched your guys' interview with Danny from HAW. So you guys are
Oh,
just
thank
very
you.
relaxed people, man. And I think these are some of the funnest podcasts to do, you know?
Hell yeah,
For
man. We
sure.
try to keep it, nice and smooth.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
No, it's
uncut.
very
We
relaxed.
just uncut. We sit back, we relax. That's what it's about.
Yep, yep. Just enjoy wrestling and have fun. Good
Yeah.
conversations. I appreciate you guys.
Hell yeah, it's
So
been great having.
we move into that part of the show where we give our honorable mentions. Troy.
I would have to say my honorable mention goes to A&B and HAW. A&B, it's been great having you on the show, bro. Like, I feel like you're very easy to connect with. You're very down to earth, and you're very easy to talk to. So honorable mentions go out to A&B and HAW as always. Much love.
Yep, same here. My honorable mention goes to AMB and HAW. What I've seen so far from HAW and AMB, I mean, it's been phenomenal. It's been great. Not no pun there to AJ Styles, the phenomenal part, but but definitely you were an amazing guest tonight. We were glad to have you on, and we'll have you any other time and whenever you're available.
Yeah, yeah, it's a pleasure, man. Thank you guys so much.
My honorable mention is have to go to A&B. He's been really great on the show. I've seen some clips and highlights. I'm pretty impressed. I'm gonna be following you. Can't wait to see you climb the mountain, man. It's gonna be an awesome ride. HAW's been so nice to us. The ring announcer giving us a shout out. Your personal page giving us a shout out. I really appreciate the promotional work that you guys have done for us, and we'll continue to do the same for you. But unfortunately, we're at that time, and I'm Big Baby Ben.
Billy the Kid,
Troy Black, baby.
this has been a beautiful episode. Amazing. AMB, thank you again. This has been another amazing episode of Wrestling with Bros.
Yeah,